The Florida School Board that decided they were not going to do Common Core testing, well, they're opting back in. What made them change their mind? We've got that story coming up, as well as the international news hitting in the nation right now, the apparent beheading of another American journalist, that journalist with strong ties in Florida. And making sure your family is safe in the event of the storm, especially your children. We've got everything you need to know to stay on top of it. The Now Tampa Bay starts right now.
In Pinellas a minute ago, AccuWeather guide.
Welcome to the Now Tampa Bay. It is 4 o'clock and I'm Laura Harris. The first big story we want to get to right now. Do you remember last week we told you about Lee County Schools? They're the school district just outside Fort Myers. They decided they were going to opt out of Common Core testing. Well, just today we're hearing the school board has decided now they're back in. Here's the information we have so far this afternoon. Probably a couple of factors here in that decision. First off, the governor could have come in and removed them from their positions. Second, it left a lot of question marks about how students would be measured if they didn't take those standardized tests. Our Christy Post, she's been looking into that ever since we got word last week that they were not going to take the test. Now they're going to take the test. What do you make of all this?
I mean, I think they're a little bipolar. That's what I think, because they don't really know what they want to do. But after finding out how it's going to hurt the kids, third graders could be held back. High school students may not graduate, and that federal funding, well, they didn't really know if they were going to get that or not get that. And to run a school, you need money, and you need a lot of it. So they probably realize that all of those things combined makes for a bad school.
Right. And Christy, I remember you called the governor's office to try to figure out what he was making of all of this. Did you ever get any confirmation?
The only confirmation I got was he was looking into it, and he believed that it was going to have negative consequences on the children and, possibly hurt the kids. And I think in that big debate of whether it was going to or not, they probably realized this is probably not good for our kids.
All right. Christy Post, thank you so very much. We do appreciate it. All right, well, also talking about your kids and being safe in schools, Hernando County School District. Well, right now they're wondering, should they put GPS devices on your child's school bus if you live in Hernando County? Our Chris Trinkman right now just stepped out of that meeting to find out if they were going to do that. Chris, what'd they decide?
Well, Laura, at the workshop this afternoon, the school board members listened to the presentation by a vendor named Synovia. And what they do is they install GPS devices on school buses so they can track the movements of all the buses, whether they're on time, whether they're late. But what they also want to do is provide ID cards or wristbands or some other device to the students themselves so they can track students getting on and off buses. Now, this would be great for parents, because what parents could do is log on using their student's ID number and a password and find out exactly when the student got on or off the school bus. Now, the reason this came about is because of an incident that happened on the first day of school here in Hernando County, where a 5-year-old was left behind and actually picked up by some other driver, a parent, and taken home that way. This caused a panic here, not only among parents here at the school district, but among school board members, including the superintendent. She called this emergency meeting to discuss options on how to better keep track of school buses and students. So one of the proposals is to hire this company. They're going to discuss it over the next couple of weeks. They'll come back to have a vote on it on September 16th, and they're looking at possibly a cost of $60,000 a year for this. Some of the other districts in Central and Western Florida already use GPS, but this would be the first district in Tampa Bay that would have actual ID cards for students to track their activities getting on and off the school buses. Laura?
All right, thank you so much, Chris. We do appreciate it. Severe weather caught a lot of us Monday evening. Tornado warning even forcing many Labor Day picnics inside. And with that storm came lots of lightning. 2 houses were actually hit by lightning, one in Hyde Park, the other in Odessa. Thankfully, no one was hurt in both of those incidents. And speaking of storm survivors, these guys, the Coast Guard, just shared pictures with us of 3 adults being rescued on Sunday off Anna Maria Island. This after their boat started taking on water. It was actually just one of 25 distress calls the Coast Guard went to throughout the holiday weekend. Tonight on ABC Action News at 6, we will explain what those in distress did right that helped them survive. And this actually is National Preparedness Month for inclement weather. And a lot of people yesterday, Thankfully, you got on the air, first to get on the air to tell them what was going on up in the skies, Dennis. But what do we need to do to make sure, especially on social media?
I was going to say a lot of people have their finger on the pulse because of their smartphone,
right,
and because of apps such as Storm Shield. And Facebook was a huge thing. In fact, we were showing pictures over the last hour to two, really from 6:30 until 8:30. In fact, take a look at this. There's a shot over here, right here. This right there is the funnel cloud that we actually showed on Facebook as it was happening. So what was going on is, well before any tornado warnings were issued, we were sharing pictures like this. We were updating, letting people know what we thought was going to happen. And because people have their smartphone with them at pretty much all times, they're getting these updates. Now, on Facebook, every now and again, you don't get these updates, and that's something that you always have to keep in the back of your mind. A good way to go is on our Facebook fan page, check on notifications that they update you at all time whenever you post stuff, because some of these pictures were absolutely amazing of the lightning over at the airport. And speaking of lightning, there is lightning out there right now. Titan Doppler radar showing some pretty strong thunderstorms, and we just had the report of some rotation with one of those storms. So it would not shock me in the least if we see more severe weather developing tonight and continuing right on through the weekend. Laura?
All right, thanks, Dennis, and we'll check back in with you in just a little bit. And while we're talking about being prepared in the storm, are your children ready if a disaster were to strike? According to a new report from Save the Children, they're probably not. The study says 21 states, including Florida, are not prepared to protect its kids. Now, we're behind in our plans to evacuate children in daycare and those with special needs. But we're doing well with multi-hazard plans for students in grades K through 12 and with children reuniting with their parents after a disaster.
Part of what we want to do is we want to take those lessons from Hurricane Sandy and Hurricane Katrina and tornadoes in the Midwest and apply what we can learn here locally.
And as you know, right now we are halfway through hurricane season, but it's never too late to make a plan to keep you and your family safe. And speaking of emergencies, a massive plant explosion in Lakeland had people running for cover earlier this morning. Right now, crews are waiting for boilers to cool off to go into the Whitlock Packaging Corporation. That's at 2050 South US Highway 98. That's also known as Bartow Road. Crews need to get into the building to determine if it's even safe for other people to go back. Truly amazing. No one got hurt in that explosion, but some very scary moments this morning, even for people driving by. We talked to one woman sitting in the turning lane when she says she saw a fireball shoot through the air.
I heard a loud noise, like an explosion. I didn't know if it was an accident coming up behind me or what, and I just saw all the steam and this big piece of equipment here rolling what looked like it was going to come across the road. Fortunately, it stopped right there.
Flying debris damaged at least one car going by, but again, thankfully, no one was hurt. And right now, we're keeping a close eye at the national desk. News of a second American journalist reportedly beheaded at the hands of ISIS. And we're hearing that reporter has strong ties to Florida, even attended the University of Central Florida. My co-host Ann McNamara has that first in National Headlines.
Breaking news, ISIS apparently beheaded another American journalist. A video posted online just a few hours ago appears to show Steven Sotloff in an orange jumpsuit. Then he's beheaded by an Islamic State fighter. The video, titled A Second Message to America, eerily similar to the first video, which showed the beheading of journalist James Foley. Sotloff disappeared in Syria about a year ago. He was a freelancer who worked for Time and Foreign Policy magazines. Right now, President Obama is about to be on his way to Europe to tell the Baltic nations, I got your back. Air Force One bound for Tallinn, the capital of Estonia. Estonia, along with Lithuania and Latvia, they all worry that they could be the next target of Russian aggression. Unlike Ukraine, all three of these countries are members of NATO, which means the alliance is obligated to help defend them. An American airstrike targeting the leader of a Somali militant group may have killed him. The New York Times quoting an American official in Nairobi who says, we're 80% sure that Ahmed Abdi Godane, this guy right here, is dead. Officials think he was in one of the vehicles that was hit by the U.S. drone strike. Now, Godane's the leader of Al-Shabaab, which is a group of Islamic extremists with associations with Al-Qaeda. This is some file video of Al-Shabaab fighters. You might remember the name from the attack on a Nairobi mall last year that left more than 60 people dead. Godane believed to have organized that massacre. The FBI now investigating the release of hundreds of nude celebrity photos that appeared on websites like 4chan, Reddit, and Twitter. Whole lot of people pointing fingers at Apple and the company says it's investigating if its backup service was hacked. One person who's not waiting for those findings, Kirsten Dunst. She got straight to the point, tweeting, "Thank you, iCloud, emoji pizza, emoji pooped. Pizza poop." You can sound it out. Jennifer Lawrence, another huge celeb who confirmed the pics were real. Her publicist saying authorities have been contacted and will prosecute anyone who posts those stolen photos. The FBI, pretty good at this by now. Remember when someone stole pictures and personal info from Scarlett Johansson, Mila Kunis, and also Christina Aguilera? That was in 2011. The FBI got them. And oh, by the way, regular people who decide to repost could also face charges if caught. Yes, I'm talking to you. Another American doctor in Liberia tested positive for Ebola today. This doctor was also a missionary from SIM USA, which is the same charity that Dr. Kent Brantley and Nancy Wrightball worked for when they were infected. The doctor's name not been released. The charity saying he wasn't treating Ebola patients, so not clear right now how he came into contact with the virus. Meanwhile, there's some hope for a new Ebola vaccine. The first trial on humans starts this week here in the U.S. The National Institute of Health already tested it on primates, and it worked pretty well. Phase 1 of the trial will look at side effects and immune response. It will take place in Bethesda, Maryland at the NIH Clinical Center. 20 people will get the vaccine. None of them will be infected with the Ebola virus. We should have some preliminary results before the end of the year. Meanwhile, testing for actual Ebola is getting a whole lot faster. Japanese researchers announcing today a new test can detect Ebola in just 30 minutes. This system isn't just faster, it's also cheaper. The hope is it can quickly be rolled out in West Africa, where the outbreak is the worst. The death toll more than 1,500 people right now. The Democratic Republic of the Congo even reporting a total of 31 dead there. So, guys, this just continues to spread, and we continue to look for solutions.
Much more to come this afternoon on the Now Tampa Bay. Coming up at 4:56, a painful reminder of what texting and driving can really do. Also coming up at 4:30, what's going on with Joan Rivers? How's she doing in the hospital at this hour? Plus, coming up at 4:15, the two places you do not want to be when lightning strikes. We've got those details coming up. The Now Tampa Bay coming back in 3 minutes.
Now I'm taking love, and it's not my fault, 'cause you both deserve what is coming now, so don't say a word.
Maroon 5 and Adam Levine fans. The group just announced today a brand new world tour, and it's stopping at the Tampa Bay Times Forum February 25th of next year. It may seem like a little distant dream, but tickets go on sale next weekend, Saturday, September 13th, to be exact. All right, a little wild story for some wildlife. If you saw a bear cub in a bucket, would you help? Or would you be afraid that maybe Mama Bear was close behind? Take a look at this video we've got. This is out of Pennsylvania. Since he wasn't hurting anyone, wildlife officials could not help the male cub, even though he was obviously uncomfortable. That's when these folks rushed in to help the cub and used a bow saw to free him. We're told the bear was stuck inside that bucket for 2 months. Well, earlier in the show, we talked about lightning striking houses yesterday around Hillsborough County. Digital producer Jarrett Hill is here with us right now. I mean, very dangerous.
Yeah.
Here in the area, just lightning everywhere, especially yesterday.
Yes, for sure.
With the tornado
It
warnings
gets a little
and everything.
scary.
Yeah. What do you have for us keeping our families safe?
Well, we wanted to look at some of the safety tips that were important for when lightning strikes, and we actually found some ones that were kind of surprising. So the first of which is avoid plumbing, sinks, faucets, and baths. Apparently, if your house is struck by lightning, all of that electricity can conduct in all of those different places through your plumbing, so you want to avoid those things. Second important thing we found was avoid contact with concrete. Concrete can be a conductor, and especially when it's wet, it's even more of a conductor. So you don't want to be down on the ground with your hands and your feet and all that kind of stuff, avoiding concrete. Lastly, never lie flat on the ground. We talked to a meteorologist earlier today, and lying on the ground will give you more contact space to actually being electrocuted. You want to have as little of yourself on the ground as possible to be able to be as least conductive as possible.
Wow.
So,
and I'm sure you've posted that on our website.
yes,
so.
for sure. We have the full list of tips on our website. If you go to abcactionnews.com/the now, all those things are there from the National Weather Service.
All right, thank you so much, Jarrett. We
Yes,
really
of
do
course.
appreciate it. And
No
the
problem.
man with the plan when you talk about weather is Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips. And we also talk about Storm Shield, Dennis, and the app that we have to make sure that families stay safe.
Yeah, Laura, that is a great app. I mean, I just hear you talking about it. You just call it up in your smartphone. It comes up and tells you exactly where the severe weather is. And it isn't just like in a county like it used to be. You know, you would get a severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning for a whole county. Now it's based in your zip code. So no longer will you hear severe thunderstorm warning for Hillsborough County covering the entire county. What happens is the Weather Service issues what's called polygonal warnings. They're much smaller, more precise warnings. So if you don't get a warning in your zip code, it's because there is no warning in your zip code. A lot of folks used to be the whole county covered. Now it's only small areas. And by the way, just following up on what we just said, you're right. You do not lay flat on the ground. You go into a ball on the ground. Reason being, you're not the highest object and you're not a larger surface area. If you're laying flat on the ground, there's more of you to be struck. Whereas if you're in a ball right on the ground, there's a less area that you're likely to be hit. Little tidbits that we've got over the years living here in Florida. And there is certainly lightning out there. Over the last few hours, things are really popping up in northern and central Pinellas County. In fact, a buddy of mine from AccuWeather just sent me a picture of what was rotation from a storm around Clearwater. It since moved offshore, but we had the tornado warnings yesterday. It is very possible we could see more of these later on over the next several hours as these storms continue to slowly move out to the west, with more on the way later tonight.
All right, thanks, Dennis. Well, Madden 15 came out just about a week ago for all you gamers out there, and those of you who aren't really gamers but you just really like the game. Well, apparently there's a very noticeable glitch in Madden 15. My co-host on the national desk, Ann McNamara, has more on that. Ann?
A huge glitch in Madden NFL 15 makes one player super small, but only when he's on a certain team. Let me explain. In real life, linebacker Christian Kirksey is 6'2" and plays for the Cleveland Browns. In the game, the video game, you can create your own team. So when you put Kirksey in a Titans uniform, he becomes 14 inches tall. Ah, the irony, only tiny when you make him a Titan. Despite the height difference, though, he's still capable of making some pretty big plays in the game, bringing down runners 5 times his size and even jumping high enough to stop passes. It's the miracle of life, how a baby comes into this world. The folks at BuzzFeed wanted to catch guys' reaction when they see their kids for the first time.
Here we go. Oh, that's
Here we go.
Woo. All right. Oh my God. just shoots right out of there.
Oh no! Oh, complications.
Why is it all red?
Okay.
Okay.
Break. What?
Oh, it moved.
A lot of them are speechless, and that was hilarious. 2 days, the video almost has 400,000 views. Hopefully these guys have a little more appreciation for what their ladies go through, minus the pain, you guys.
All right, thanks, Ann. Coming up at 4:54, we're talking coupons. Who here uses coupons? Anybody on the Now? Do you really? I don't use coupons. But apparently, it's National Coupon Month. I don't. I really don't. I don't have the time. It's National Coupon Month. We're going to tell you where you can go to get some pretty cool coupons. Also coming up, another flight diverted because of a fight over a seat. We've got that story coming up as well. Plus, Angelina Jolie wowing on the cover of People magazine. Her kids helping in her wedding day bliss. So we did some digging into other ways kids can be involved in the big day. But first, here's your fit tip of the day on the Now Tampa Bay.
Hi, I'm Melissa Trinidad, fitness contributor for The Now. My fitness tip of the day is to work in all three planes of motion. Most people I see tend to work out going forward and back, pushing, pulling in the same plane. Make sure that you both also move laterally and then with rotation to ensure a better workout.
Focus on Ashley, and then you'll pop up like right next to her.
Okay, but we're going to go into the national and then I'll walk over.
Wouldn't it be easier if you were in Ola?
I don't know.
And you're going to be kind of interjecting in the middle of it. Where you're saying,
Wait, what? What are you saying?
after I talk about the good ways that you can involve your kids, then you say there's also controversial ways that you can incorporate your kids. Controversial ways. And that's the one with the kid on the dress.
Okay. All right, I see what you're saying. I can deal with that.
So for now, where should I show you? Do you want to see the monitor to the right?
For what?
Because you're tossing a package, right?
Well, I thought you wanted, God, I thought I heard somebody say walk. I can stand right here.
Yeah. And then once we go to Ashley, I don't know, we'll figure that out.
I don't know where you're going to stand for that. Because I mean, for
All right,
me
we're
to
gonna,
go like
it's a
this and
VO
play
for
the
Falcon's
camera is
Fury,
gonna
right?
be- She's coming from here? I'm not really.
She's coming from the monitor.
We have killed Carrie Underwood and Dwayne Wade. Both of those people are dead.
They've just died. That's breaking right now.
That's so sad.
Start that
Every
rumor.
story I wrote today. JK. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, she's killing story. We're heavy.
So it's package, and then us. Okay. Good thing you're.
40.
I need somebody to breathe really loud when I say Justin Bieber has been arrested again. Like, just you're so disgusted.
Bring up my mic.
Yeah.
Bring my mic
Well,
up.
it'll be open.
Ugh.
I just need
No, I'm just kidding.
collective
Don't bring
breathe.
it up. It's gonna sound
Please. Yeah, right.
We got a good mic check.
Are
on
you
me.
kidding me?
Mic-
Oh,
Perfect.
Yeah, like it's got to be something. No way.
Do it no way.
Ashley, your mic is hot the whole time, you said.
9.
We got Falcon's Fury first.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right now, the highly anticipated Falcon's Fury has officially opened at Busch Gardens. After months of delays, the 335-foot drop tower boasts a 60-mile-an-hour drop straight down at the ride's highest points. Riders pivot 90 degrees in a face-down position in the air just before taking the plunge. None of that sounds fun. This is an amusement park, right? For those of you planning to take the ride, good luck. All right, well, time for your celebrity buzz. 20-year-old Justin Bieber arrested again.
Oh, no. What? No way.
These are true statements I make, people. Seriously, accused of running into a minivan with an ATV. He was charged with dangerous driving and assault. Now, since we've seen the Biebs in trouble with the law time and time again, the twist in this story, who was riding with him? His on-again, off-again girlfriend, Selena Gomez. Police say they both are cooperating with the investigation. It appears the minivan was being driven by paparazzi. All right, well, Angelina Jolie, guess what? She got married over the weekend, and we've been seeing these beautiful pictures of her dress. There it is right there. So how are you incorporating kids into your wedding? Well, my co-host Ann McNamara has that story.
Brangelina's wedding photos are out, and it was a family affair. Everyone is talking about Angelina's veil. Seems like it's getting even more attention than her actual dress, which was Versace. The veil was so colorful, all the designs drawn by their 6 children. Such a unique idea. All the kids had main roles in the wedding. Her 2 oldest boys actually walked her down the aisle. Her dad, John Voight, not invited. Talk about a sugar rush right before the start of the NFL season on Thursday. Seattle Seahawks running back Marshawn Lynch loves Skittles so much, he's incorporating them into his off-season workouts. That's right, instead of barbells, he's doing Skittles, pump and iron, lifting the rainbow. Lynch's love affair with Skittles goes back farther than that. He's worn rainbow cleats and a custom-made Skittles jersey. NFL fans caught on pretty quickly, showering him in Skittles whenever he scores. Took a little bit longer for the brand to catch on. After years of Lynch's public love, Skittles finally signed him and even went one step further than that, becoming an official sponsor of the NFL this year. Back to you guys.
All right, cool. Here we go. So Brangelina's wedding. All right, they talked about their kids and all that beautiful. Here's the question, though. Our digital producer, not our digital producer, our producer Ashley, she's here to tell us a little bit about what people do with their kids in weddings. Because usually, you think about the flower girl, maybe the ring bearer.
Yep, there are those traditional things that you can do with those kids. However, we dug a little bit deeper for you to find some unique and fun ways for you to incorporate your kids into your wedding. We looked on websites like theknot.com and Wedding Wire, really famous websites for you to check out. Some things they suggested were family vows. You can do this after you give your wedding vows to each other. Also, here's a fun one. You can do a sand ceremony. That's where the family gets together and they all have their individual sand in their own containers, and then they pour it into one, and you can get fun and creative with this, like kids do their own colors. Now, if your children are from a previous marriage, your significant other can give them a special gift, like an engraved piece of jewelry, for instance, and give vows directly to them rather than just to each other.
Here's my question, though. We've seen some people use kids in very weird ways.
Yes, recently there was a picture that created an internet firestorm. You may remember this. It was a Tennessee woman. She attached her newborn daughter to her dress. And, it kind of looked like she got dragged down the aisle a little bit, yes. So it was really controversial, but she did defend herself, saying that the baby was very secure to the dress. So, everybody has their own opinion on how they're going to incorporate their children into their big special day.
Ashley, I don't care if the baby was secured onto this is kind of a little bizarre.
It's a little bizarre, yes.
All right, I was just checking to make sure. Ashley, thank you so very much. We do appreciate it. All right, well, coming up on the Now in just a little bit, social media helping with the Tampa Theater. We'll tell you how they raised $10,000 with the help of Facebook and Twitter. Also coming up, well, if you're watching TV, could it be making you fat or could it be making you skinny? We'll tell you why. And plus, putting the brakes on the speeding ticket quota worries. Tampa police explaining to us how you play a part in where they work the streets. That's coming up.
So I guess I'll be out and then she'll be. Okay.
Welcome back to the Now Tampa Bay, 4:30. I'm Laura Harris, keeping an eye on what's trending in Tampa and beyond. And body cameras, all the talk after the police shooting in Ferguson. Now a major local agency says their officers will also start using them. Police Chief Jane Castor just announcing a plan today to give Tampa officers body cameras. What's interesting is she wants them to be attached to officers' glasses. Chief Castor says the plans were in motion before the infamous police-involved shooting in Ferguson, Missouri last month.
It's something that will be a benefit to law enforcement, it'll be a benefit to the community, and I really see every officer wearing one of these cameras in the next 5 years.
The city will have to okay the plan before police get the money to move forward. The pilot program could start as early as the end of this year. A story that has many talking across Florida this afternoon. Do police departments really have quotas when it comes to speeding tickets? Well, this after police in Waldo, Florida were caught doing just that. And mind you, quotas are illegal. That said, our Christy Post, when asking a Bay Area police department, how do they decide where to set up shop to catch lawbreakers?
The last thing you want to see while driving is those red and blue lights in your rear view mirror. We've learned the Tampa Police Department has a method for handing out all of those citations.
We have speeding complaints. We also have red light issues.
TPD's target, high crash intersections.
We may just go and pull people over and warn them and say, hey, did you know this, or were you aware of that?
The top areas in Tampa are these:
Eisenhower Boulevard, or through the Veterans, or even across the bridges.
Police also get tips of problem spots through social media.
We get a lot of it from both Facebook and Twitter, but we had a tweet today that said, hey, we have an issue in our neighborhood. Can you please send somebody out to look at it?
The goal in mind, change the behavior of drivers who break the law.
Generally, as a rule, if you write somebody a citation, that'll modify their behavior for up to a year, studies have shown. With a warning, it'll modify their behavior up to 6 months.
So all that talk about police having ticket quotas or traffic traps, well, it's illegal. The only quota TPD says they are after is keeping motorists safe.
At the end of the day, our goal is safety and to make sure that people aren't getting injured or hurt in our roadways.
All right, we've got our Christy Post here with us to give us a little bit more information. Christy, interesting story, because a lot of us say there have to be quotas. There have to be.
Exactly. I mean, when you're sitting out there and you see cops day in and day out, you wonder, it must be that time of the month. But obviously, it's illegal to do that. Someone got in trouble in Waldo, but, you know, not here in Tampa. I found the most dangerous intersections, and it is interesting, one being right by our station at Hillsborough Avenue in Himes, is the most dangerous. I mean, that's pretty crazy. We need to be careful.
Yeah.
I tried to look at citations and compare them to year for like speeding or pulling over for no traffic signal, and I've yet to get those to really see if, you know, they change dramatically year to year. But they said they issue a lot of warnings versus actually ticket people where you're going to have to pay in court.
But they're assuring you it's not quotas.
No quotas. That's illegal.
Okay, Christy Post, thank you so very much. We do appreciate it. All right, well, look at your screen right now. Do you remember that man? Well, he presided over the infamous Casey Anthony trial, and Judge Belvin Perry is retiring from the bench, but he's not going far. He's reportedly going to work for one of Florida's most prominent lawyers, John Morgan. And he won't be the only familiar face at the firm. Former Florida governor and gubernatorial candidate Charlie Crist works for that firm as well. A firm you may remember is pushing for the legalization of medical marijuana. All right, now to our national headlines. We go back to my co-host, Ann McNamara.
Another day, another flight diverted because of knee room. If you're keeping track, it's the third one this week. The Delta flight from New York City to West Palm Beach stopped instead in Jacksonville because of an unruly passenger. 32-year-old Amy Fine apparently got pretty upset when the woman in front of her reclined her seat while knitting. Aaron Kilpin was sitting right next to the woman who reclined.
This woman who was sitting next to me knitting actually just tried reclining her seat back. The woman behind her started screaming and swearing, and then a flight attendant came over, and that just exacerbated what was going on, and then she demanded that the flight land.
So Fine was sleeping on the tray table in front of her and was actually hit in the head when that seat reclined. Apparently she woke up on the wrong side of the tray because she told flight attendants a nastier version of, quote, eat, poop, and die. In her defense, Fine told police 2 of her dogs had just died, and she's been very emotional ever since, so they let her go. Amnesty International says ISIS militants are without a doubt engaging in the ethnic cleansing of Iraq. Remember the Yazidis trapped on Mount Sinjar? They were subject to this. The UN saying human rights officers in Iraq are gathering evidence of serious violations of international law.
This includes targeted killings, forced conversions, abductions, slavery, sexual and physical abuse and torture, and the besieging of entire communities on the basis of ethnic, religious, or sectarian affiliation.
It's hard to even hear about it. Almost 1,500 people killed in August alone, hundreds upon thousands displaced, women and children abducted, and the violations are so bad the UN sent an emergency team on an emergency mission this week to investigate. No small undertaking, 11 different investigators, a huge budget, more than $1 million, but the UN team won't report back until March of next year. I guess there's no rush. Hollywood Prayer Club pulling for Joan Rivers. She is still alive. E! News Today quoting a source close to the situation that said it's a slow process, but she's on the road to recovery. She's getting better. Don't believe all this ridiculous speculation. Doctors are trying to bring her out of this medically induced coma that she's been in for days at a New York hospital. Okay, let's get back to the prayers. Rivers Fashion Police co-host Kelly Osbourne tweeting, "For the first time in years, I got down on my knees and prayed tonight." Rihanna, the singer, writing, "Please keep Joan Rivers in your prayers." Nice, simple message. And Andy Cohen saying, "It's Sunday morning and I am praying for a miracle for the great Joan Rivers," using the prayer emoji. Even Donald Trump is showing he actually has a heart. He tweeted, "Keep fighting, Joan." But then he let his real personality shine through as he blamed the, quote, "lousy doctor who shoved a camera down her throat at her age." His words, not mine. Bottom line, get well soon, Joan. A mystery at Stonehenge is solved thanks to a gardening accident. For decades, archaeologists wondered if the giant stones used to form a complete circle. They didn't have any proof until now. Groundskeepers usually keep the grounds watered to keep the grass healthy, but this summer their hoses were too short, so they stopped watering the part of Stonehenge that had no stones. When that incomplete section dried out, it left very clear outlines of the stones that used to be there. Archaeologists say if the groundskeepers had brought a longer hose, they would never have known the truth about the circle of stones. Pretty cool history lesson, guys.
All right, lots of national headlines there, but let's go back to that flight being diverted story. So it got us to thinking here on the Now Tampa Bay, who's responsible for paying those fines when that happens, or the cost? Who's responsible is the question. Well, we did some digging, and while there's no exact cost, the International Air Transport Association says they typically spend between $10,000 and $200,000. And if it's an unruly passenger causing the diversion, well, they can be fined up to $100,000. How about that? All right, well, coming up on the Now Tampa Bay, texting and driving. We all know it's dangerous, but I've got a picture to show you that says 1,000 words. I bet you'll never text and drive again. Also coming up, Frozen. You know, the animated movie that everyone is talking about. Well, now you get the chance to see behind the scenes with your kids. We'll give you the details. The Now Tampa Bay coming back in 2.5.
Here you go.
I got it right here. What are we going to reopen with, Liz? The right now?
We open up right back out here.
And we're going to stay right out here? Yeah. Jake from The List is here right now to tell us all about a little taste of New Orleans that's coming to the Bay Area.
I'm gonna
you
buy a
always get
tablet
the
this
sweet
weekend,
deal.
Liz.
You get to eat, drink, be merry, all on the clock.
I do, but this time it's a spicy deal. Okay.
You guys hear me?
Bring up Jarrett's mic as well. Go, Jarrett, they can hear you.
Liz, I'm not going to be mad if we kill Nick and Knight. Just let me know, because I can pull it out of my animation. Can you guys hear me? Liz, can you tell them I'm trying to get to Liz?
Kill the sod.
No, I don't think she can. Hey Liz, we can kill Nick and Knight if we need some more time. I can pull it out of my animations. Okay, cool. Dum da dum da dum bum. Bum, ba, no, 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 no. And you know where to switch? Cool.
Charles, you can normalize everything except 3, 7, and 8. 3, 7, and 8 are the only ones that are left. 1 minute.
Okay, so I've never seen Frozen. Has anybody?
I have.
Yeah. So Princess Elsa and Princess Anna, like, are they?
Sisters.
They're sisters.
Oh, I see.
Everybody thinks Elsa's turned bad, but she's not.
Because when I went to Disney, like, this little girl, she had like the stuffed doll, and it was the head on one side, and then you flip the dress up, and it was another head on the other. So I didn't know if it was like the same person.
Oh, no. They're sisters, but that's creepy.
It was bizarre. Like, I mean, you could just lift the dress up and the dress was a different color on the other side.
That's interesting.
And it was the other girl.
Creative,
Yeah.
but weird.
So I thought that's what the movie was about. One person who...
It's like cat dog.
We're going early. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
It is the most successful animated movie of all time. Guaranteed parents and kids alike know exactly what movie I'm talking about. It's Frozen. And tonight on your ABC Action News station, you get a chance to look at behind the scenes of this magical movie. It's a family affair tonight as the creators, animators, and voices behind Frozen give you a sneak peek at how they make the characters come to life, from the voices to the songs, the sketches turned people, and the more than 600 people who work to make Frozen much more than just a cartoon, but rather a household name. That story of Frozen making a Disney animated classic airs right here on your ABC Action News station tonight at 8 o'clock. All right, definitely something that we need to check out, Jarrett.
For sure.
I've never seen Frozen, and collectively around the newsroom, every judge,
Oh gosh.
I can't believe you've never seen Frozen.
You're that girl. That's right.
I am. But apparently it's something for everybody. Even if you don't have kids, it's a great movie.
It is something for everyone. It's a really great movie, and it's going to be on television tonight, which kind of moves me right into my app of the day. You like how I did that?
That's how I roll. That's how we roll.
Our app of the day today is from TV Guide. It's September, and all of our favorite shows are coming back. What I love about this app, number one, is watch list. You can program your own favorite shows to be able to get all the information about those shows in your watch list every single day. Second that I love about it, new tonight. It will tell you every show that will be happening that has a new episode tonight. You can have it for every show and every channel, or you can have it personalized to the way that you want it. Lastly, episodes. This will kind of give you a breakdown of the episodes that are coming on. When Scandal's coming on, we can know.
So come September 25th, this is
exactly. It's Scandal. It's Scandal. We want to know
Olivia.
Where's Olivia? What's Fitz gonna do? Where's Jake? You know, we got to know.
Where is
so
Jake?
It'll give us a brief synopsis without spoilers about what's coming up in the episode. It's available for the iPhone and for Droid, for Google Play. So it's kind of awesome. It's available right now in the App Store.
How much does it cost?
It's free, of course.
My favorite price.
It's her favorite price, even though you don't use coupons, which is a whole other thing.
Don't tell my business.
All right, something else that's going on right now. It's called Nick and Knight, and I love Jordan Knight just like anyone else.
Who's Jordan Knight?
From New Kids on the Block. Nick Carter, he's from Backstreet Boys.
I remember him.
Or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. They are from some of the biggest bands from back in the day, and they should probably just stay there. I'm just going to say it. I'm sorry. They have a new album that's out together. In what has to be the least anticipated collection of the new music since LaToya Jackson's Heart Don't Lie Deluxe Edition.
Oh, wow.
These two superstars are coming together for an album. They call themselves Nick and Knight, which really just alludes to where they need to be pitching their reality show.
Catchy, though.
Don't do it, okay? Their song is called One More Time, and it kind of seems it's their plea to their careers of yesteryear or decade. Like, give us one more shot. Come on, one more shot.
Look at this video.
But I just don't. This video's terrible. No, this is really bad. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm really sorry. But Jordan, continue hitting the gym, showing us you still got all the right stuff. Nick, make the call. Call the Backstreet Boys and let them know. No, it does not matter.
I like the boy bands. I do.
Jordan, I just need them to stay in the past. This is going to go all downhill.
Jarrett Hill, thank you so very much. We do appreciate it.
We'll see you.
Coming up at 4:54 on the Now Tampa Bay, couponing, something that I need to apparently start doing. It's National Coupon Month. We'll tell you how you and your family can find some really cool coupons online. Also coming up at 4:51, low carb versus low fat, the study out on which will help you lose more weight and improve your health overall. Plus, your news in 90. All of your headlines coming up in 90 seconds.
I love them, but this is a terrible idea.
We're going out to the floor.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yes, you are. We need camera 9. What do you need?
I forgot the list he's.
Page 92 still in? Yep. 91, you said it's still in. Right?
No worries.
All right.
Do you need anything?
No. I'm good, thanks.
You're in front of the 3 monitors.
Thank you. And then it's after this break, we're going to go to the balcony.
Dennis, you're up. Okay, I'll do it. I'll pretend.
I'm totally serious.
No, it's fine. I'll pretend like I'm doing it.
What's the matter?
No, I'm just trying to fix something for Shay and I had 2 minutes this guy is here right now.
Hey, Dan, we're 1,100 down.
How many?
1,100.
Thank you.
Why don't you play Dennis? You have a mic. You're Dennis. So you're all right, Laura. Nice and done, Jay. All right.
Yeah, they.
You're all right. You're on.
Still no tape, guys. I apologize.
What? You're fine right there. No, right there. You can sit down or stand. Totally up to you.
In this plant explosion, I'm going to walk up to Dennis. Okay, cool. Thank you.
All you have to say is death.
Am I back? Where are we going to do low carb versus low fat? Because
Can I see the rundown?
Yes.
Death and destruction. I can remember that.
Look at the monitor.
Death and destruction. I mean, look at this.
Yes, yes.
Here are your headlines in 90 seconds on the Now Tampa Bay. Another American journalist
Here you go.
reportedly beheaded at the hands of ISIS. This one was also filmed by the Islamic.
We are on 188. That's 11. That's out of the list. So once Jared starts talking, we'll bump out.
And I'm walking over to the wall.
No, stay there.
No. 98, 99 a day. 15.
What are 98.99?
98 and 99 are train brain and V size 8 experiment. 5,
All right.
4, and you're talking for a while. So you give more time to get there.
Here are your headlines in 90 seconds on the Now Tampa Bay. Now, another American journalist reportedly beheaded at the hands of ISIS. This one was also filmed by the Islamic State group. You may remember Steven Sotloff appeared in the recent video of his fellow American journalist James Foley being beheaded. Their extremists threatened to kill Sotloff if the U.S. didn't stop airstrikes on the group in Iraq. Sotloff, who is a former UCF student, freelanced for Time and Foreign Policy magazines. Lee County School Board members changed their mind. Reports now surfacing that their students will now be taking the test tied to the Common Core academic standards. You'll remember just days ago, in an unprecedented move, the school board decided to opt out after growing criticism from parents and teachers about how many tests their students are given. But they were met with immediate backlash. Superintendent Nancy Graham said this would hurt students and they would not meet their requirements to earn their diploma and could miss out on earning college credits. Also right now, the cleanup has begun in a massive plant explosion in Lakeland. Crews are waiting for boilers to cool off to go into the Whitlock Packaging Corporation on Bartow Road. They won't know if the building is safe until they can get inside. Flying debris damaged at least one car driving by, but thankfully no one was hurt. And Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips is with us right now, tracking some severe weather.
Yes, Chief Meteorologist, and don't you forget it. We have our map here. You can see we've got a lot of lightning in our live radar right now. The whole entire western coast of the state is just covered in lightning, and all of this green means that there's something else happening right here in this area. And then the yellow and the orange, that means something else. So what you're gonna see is a lot of rainfall, a lot of thunder and lightning happening. Apparently, we're just gonna have a really rough night. If you look over here in Tarpon Springs, that's gonna be where we're gonna be really hard hit. I think this is also Ellsbrook, Eastlake. You're gonna wanna look out. You don't want an umbrella with a metal rod, let me tell you. It's not gonna be anything nice. And Dunedin, I believe is how we pronounce that. Mandalay Avenue. Nothing, Dunedin, I'm sorry. Yes, you're gonna definitely need some assistance. So everyone's gonna be looking out. Laura, make sure to stay inside and don't be on the concrete.
All right, thank you so much, Dennis. Well, we're myth busting this afternoon. Should you go low carb or low fat in your diet? A new study says they've decided. A new study from Tulane University says it's low carb reigns king on this one, helping with weight loss, dropping fat mass, and dropping in bad cholesterol. The study also found low carb diets may help reduce your risk of heart disease.
How do you know what you're doing? I don't know.
And from low carb to fast pace, we're tracking the findings of another study right now that says fast paced TV makes you snack more. This one is from researchers at Cornell University who say people who watch fast paced TV are munching it up, a lot different from people who watch leisurely TV, such as talk shows or soap operas. They say the TV with the pace, like action movies, distracts viewers, allowing them to mindlessly eat.
Even watching the action film without sound still led people to eat 47% more calories compared to the talk show.
All right, sounds good. All right, well, we are not done here on the Now Tampa Bay. Coming up, how social media helped the Tampa Theater raise $10,000, and they say it was much needed. Also coming up on the Now Tampa Bay, texting and driving, we all know it's dangerous, but I have a picture to show you that's going to completely change your mind on that. You'll never text and drive again. The Now Tampa Bay, back in 3 minutes.